First thing you want to do when you're replacing a plumbing boot is to use the flat bar to release the tabs from one another, because ultimately you're going to end up removing nails from multiple shingles, and by releasing the seal on the tabs you're able to prevent them from tearing. The shingle that will need to be removed is the one directly above the plumbing boot, but because shingles are nailed twice, essentially the fasteners are installed on a nailing strip, and then the shingles above penetrate the top of the shingle below. So there are usually at a minimum of 8 nails per shingle. There are 4 that are installed in the fastening line, and then 4 above that in the shingle above. So you end up removing nails from multiple shingles. However, you only take out 1 shingle. You also have to release the nails, obviously, from the bottom of the pipe boot. The pipe boot will just lift up. The gaskets, it's going to be somewhat tight, but obviously over time it's deteriorated, so that should just pick up. You can see the shingle above just slides out after you've removed the nails. So the first thing you want to do anytime you're looking at a leak is obviously address any structural problems. In this case, the decking is not rotten. We performed an inspection on the interior. Alright, so we install ice and water on all of our pipe boots. You can see he's taking a sheet of ice and water membrane. It's granulated surface with an adhesive back. It's got a release film on the back. If you place it over the pipe and tap it lightly with a hammer, you can create an outline that you'll be able to cut out. First thing you want to do after you cut that out is obviously leave the release tape intact. Ensure that the ice and water shield, the hole that's cut in the middle, is going to fit over the pipe. Double check that, and then you essentially just remove the release tape on the back. That'll expose the adhesive film, and you want to install that within the layering of the shingles. So lift the shingle, of course, above the pipe boot, place the ice and water shield under that. You want to slide that down until it seats properly. And remember, the adhesive backing on the ice and water shield is very sticky, so any modifications that you need to make, you'll need to do quickly before that seals. You wouldn't want to set that in place and then come back a couple hours later to try to do anything with it. The next thing we'll do is seal the ice and water with a urethane sealant, and this essentially becomes a plumbing boot underneath a plumbing boot. I would not recommend this as a permanent repair because that sealant's not designed to be exposed to UV and remain in a performance state for long. But if there's any leak ever in the new weatherhead within the house, that water's going to hit the ice and water shield, the urethane sealant, and would not be able to leak into the house. This is a 3-in-1 plumbing boot. You want to cut to the nearest ring for the size that you need, and then the strip will peel out. You can see that he applied some pressure to the gasket. He placed the weatherhead plumbing boot all the way down, seated it underneath the shingle row above, and you want to make sure that the house is firmly planted down on top of that ice and water. The next step is to remove the excess ice and water that's going to be sticking out the sides and the bottom of the plumbing boot. That upper portion that's out on the side, you want to leave that there because the shingle course above is going to cover that. We always seal the boot with an extra little bit of urethane around the pipe. Obviously, you got to install 2 nails at the bottom of the boot to keep it in place. You don't want to install any more fasteners than that. It's only requirement is 2 nails at the bottom. We'll replace the shingle above. You want to cut the crown on that shingle to match the profile of the new house. I recommend using a razor blade that's got a curved surface to it. You don't want to just use a flat razor, as you'll end up cutting the shingle below and potentially even the house on the boot. New shingle, the existing shingle will slide into place. You can make some modifications on the curvature of the crown. You don't have to cut the shingle into 2 different parts. It doesn't hurt at all to do that. We prefer to do that because it's easier to center and modify as a 2-tab component than a 3-tab. We're going to reinstall the nails that we removed from the shingle and the shingles above, and then we'll go back and caulk each of those nails. It's a cold time of year, and typically if it's not 80 degrees or more as an outdoor air temperature, you'll want to put a little bit of sealant on these shingles to help them reseal.